Hey everyone, Mark Buffa here. Today we're going to talk to you about the brand new Immortalizer.
Oh, it might be good.
All right, so hey everyone, we're here at Magnum Bowling Products in Rochester. We got the HTC Training Center where these two guys practice all day long. We got U17 Junior Gold Champion Cameron Hurwitz and his brother Reese, Purdue superstar,
Yeah,
right?
oh,
All
yeah.
right. So we've got the Immortalizer, and you might ask what the Immortalizer does. So we're going to talk to these product experts about it. So Cameron, let us know a little bit more about, how it maintains the performance of a freshly poured bowling ball.
Sure. So bowling balls tend to, over time, they tend to dry out. So what I mean by that is the precious plasticizers or softening agents within the composition of the cover stock, they actually evaporate out through the pores of the bowling ball because the ball is so porous. And so what happens is your ball gets harder and the actual contact patch where the ball touches the lane decreases in size, so you tend to lose that curve that it once had. So what our bag does is it's made out of a dual vapor barrier mylar material, which prevents all those plasticizers from evaporating out of the bowling ball, keeping your bowling ball soft and supple and ready to perform just as it was when it was brand new.
Okay, so you talked about the suppleness of the cover, the hardness, all this type of stuff. We got some pretty fancy-dancy material over here, or equipment that you use to do testing. So what are the three main pieces of equipment that we have here to do the tests?
Right, so we have a durometer measurement tester, which basically measures how hard the cover stock is.
Yep.
We have a coefficient of friction tester, which measures the friction between the ball surface and the lane. And then thirdly and lastly, we also have a footprint tester, which measures the diameter of the contact patch where the ball touches the lane.
So Reese, how do you know that through all this testing that it has maintained its factory fresh performance? Like, what have you guys done to do all the testing?
Sure, so we've taken 4 identical balls that were poured at the same time. They have identical specs, and what we did was we put 2 in an oven to accelerate the aging. One was in an Immortalizer and one wasn't. Then we took 2 control balls that were not in an oven, just sitting on the ground. One was an Immortalizer and one wasn't.
Let's take a look at the way that these tests were done, and then we'll also share the conclusive data to you to prove that the Immortalizer, whichever color you prefer, right, all the same performance characteristics, how they can help maintain the performance of your brand new bowling ball for months and months to come.
Yep.
Correct?
Yep.
All right, Cameron, so we've got the 4 balls that you used for testing purposes. We've got here the 2 extremes, right, which are the oven unprotected and the oven Immortalizer. So basically the oven simulates an aging process. That's
Right,
correct?
it accelerates the aging process by approximately 2 to 3 times.
Okay, so let's head over to the machinery over here, the equipment, and we're going to test out durometer, we're going to test out the coefficient of friction, and lastly, footprint.
Yep. This is a Shore D durometer scale, which is set inside of a specific fixture to meet USBC's regulation rules. Here's the durometer meter lowering, and it's about to puncture through the surface of the cover stock and give you a durometer measurement. Bowling balls within the composition, like I said earlier, have tons of plasticizer within the cover stock. After the Shore D durometer scale is removed, you will notice that there is a puddle of oozing plasticizer where the needle punctured through the surface of the cover stock. Shortly after, you'll notice that it sucks right back in. This shows how porous the ball is and just how much plasticizer there is in a brand new bowling ball.
Okay, so Cameron, now we're doing the Shore D durometer test on the oven unprotected ball. How long has this been in the oven?
Approximately 400 hours at 120 degrees Fahrenheit, which is actually within the warranty range of 40 degrees to 140 degrees, but it's on the upper end of that range.
Okay, so basically just regular, normal use through just overextended using the oven.
Exactly.
Okay, let's give it a shot. So what should we expect here? We should expect a higher number than what we had with the other ball, correct?
Yeah, so in contrast with the oven ball with the Immortalizer protection, this one has lost its plasticizer and it has decreased in weight by 2 ounces, and so therefore the durometer should be expected to have increased by approximately 3 durometer points.
Okay, Cameron, now we're going to do some coefficient of friction tests using the sled. The first ball is going to be the oven unprotected. So we should see a little bit less coefficient of friction on this, correct?
Unprotected, yes, because as we had seen in the previous test, the durometer is higher, so technically it won't be able to create that same amount of lane engagement and friction as the sled drags it across the lane.
Right, so it's just slide a lot easier across the surface.
Correct.
And next up, we're going to do the stored Immortalizer, so the absolute extreme of what we just tested, thinking we should see the complete opposite, correct?
Exactly. So this one has a much lower durometer reading, being that it's a lot softer. So with the coefficient of friction test, we'll see a much higher friction reading.
Okay, and on both these balls, we did sand the bottom part, which was having the friction on the lane, with a fresh 2000 pad, and always with the pin facing at the complete opposite of the pulley, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so we're here with Scott Hurwitz, who's going to explain to us how they measure footprint. So Scott, what are we looking at here, and what are we measuring?
So basically what we're looking here is a fixture that was fabricated from scratch specifically to view and identify and measure the contact patch of the bowling ball against the lane based on the weight of the ball. By having a microscope camera here on the top, you'll be able to actually visualize what the footprint looks like, which is key because seeing is believing.
Right.
Okay, so once the full weight of the plate comes to bear down on the ball, you can see that you have a very accurate round footprint. That is the contact patch of the ball on the lane. We are somewhere around 3.45 millimeters in diameter. And this is for the ball that has been in the oven, aged approximately over a year's period of time.
Okay, Scott, so now we've got the ball that's been living in an Immortalizer since its beginnings. So this should be the closest to factory fresh ball that we have out of the bunch.
Now, what we're actually doing here is we are illuminating the side of this microscope slide that transfers the light only to the point of the ball, any surface area of the ball that's in contact with the glass, hence the footprint. And we can see that the diameter of this is much larger. It is 3.80 millimeters.
All right, everyone, so now we understand the performance characteristics and also the longevity characteristics that the Immortalizer brings to the table. Reese, let's now talk about the how-to, like how people might use this on a daily basis or even, long-term.
Yeah.
What are some of the advantages? And also, let's talk a little bit about the aesthetic and how this is made. So we see here now, just, for you guys at home, we took the green emerald IQ here, and we also matched it with the matching bag. So this is obviously a nice aesthetic piece to it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so now let's talk about how people would store it in and how the right way to fold this in and what's the important.
Yeah, perfect. So after league or a tournament and you're done with your bowling ball that you're using, you're gonna take it by the fingers and the thumb and just place it right in the Immortalizer bag, like so. And once you're done with that, you see these two Velcro tabs. Well, what you're gonna do is you're gonna hold it by the plastic and fold once and then twice and press down so that you get all the air out of the bag.
Yeah, we see that there's a couple of vent holes on the side. Very important that you patch those up with the Velcro, and that's what's going to create that vapor barrier, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So once those bleeder holes are covered now and you got all the air out, now you can just pick it up like a handle, perfect, and place it in your 3-ball roller and fit in there plenty fine.
All right, so we talked about the day-to-day operations on how to use the bag. You keep the bag inside of your 3-ball roller or whatnot, put the ball in it once you're done. And Cameron, let's talk a little bit about long-term storage. Junior Team USA bowler, former Team Canada bowler. We've got balls maybe that don't travel with us every week to league, but we do have some balls that stay at home that we want to keep, like we say earlier, factory fresh for a longer period of time. So talk to us about maybe some of the long-term characteristics that you can get out of the Immortalizer.
Right, so we have a circulating ring, which is included with every patented Immortalizer that we sell. And how you use it is you take the Immortalizer and simply set it right on the ring. Now you might be wondering what the benefit of this circulating ring is. Well, if you can notice, it has cutouts along the top and bottom. And what this helps reduce is polar differential, which means when the temperature of the top and bottom of the ball is drastically different, which can lead to cracking.
So also, what I did notice is just looking at this bag, it's got a little puffiness to it, okay? So I'm guessing there's some insulation in here, and that might also help with the air circulation or even just the distribution of the temperature inside, correct?
Definitely. So another major reason bowling balls tend to crack is because they shift in temperature too rapidly. So what the insulation does is it just simply slows down that change in temperature.
All right, so that's it for the Immortalizer. We understand now the advantages and how the Immortalizer maintains the performance, factory fresh performance of the ball, also reduces the effect of cracking, and also the beautiful aesthetic of the product and for long-term storage. So if you're interested in the product and you're based in the US, head over to magnumbowlingproducts.com. If you're a Canadian client, please head over to shop.bufabowling.com to get your Immortalizer today, or come see us in store, 6520 Magloire. Give us a call, 1-800-263-4072. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for allowing us to come to your humble abode here at the HTC. I should have brought my bowling ball so I could have bowled some action against you, but it's all good. Maybe next time. Again, everyone, thanks for being with us. If you haven't yet done so, please subscribe to our channel, turn on notifications, and we'll see you guys in the next video.